It's the rundown coming at you live, breaking it down play by play. It's the rundown.
Welcome everybody into the rundown on the road. Brandon Worth, Mark Holcomb, Jack Heckman, giving you the good stuff here. We're figuring out our stuff as we go along. This is our first live stream. Welcome in for those that are. We're going to work through it just like you guys are tonight here. It is week 5, gentlemen. Battle 131. We are here. It's that time. 2 teams, 75 games, 75 years of just pure rivalry is going to take place. And Mark, I know you've been a part of this rivalry a long, long time as a former player. This is just one of those weeks that gets pretty personal.
Well, yeah, I mean, these two schools have played in the same conference for a long time. I go back to the old North Central Conference for any of you that have been around that long. I'm dating myself a little bit, but this is a huge game. It always is. 2 teams that come in with postseason hopes and expectations, and it's no different this year for either team. But tonight is about a conference championship.
Conference championship basically on the line here tonight, and Jack, we'll go over to you. A little bit younger into this rivalry, but you've been around the kids, you've been around the players. This is a personal game on both sides because of the fact it is championship trophy on the line with these 2 top seeds in the CSAA Red.
Yeah, 100%. Growing up, we almost never beat Reed City, and now we've got 2 on them. This is a monumental game. Just to get 3 in a row today, that would be massive for the program.
It's going to be a great show indeed. We'll talk more about this matchup as well as we'll talk about the other CSAA teams on the way. We'll get you ready and geared up for kickoff here. We are live at the Tailgate. Big thanks goes out to Joe McNally as well as Ben Brandt, who's over here on our left. They set us up with the trailer and some of the equipment to make this possible, so big thanks to them. Be sure to subscribe on Big Rapids Daily News so you don't miss out on anything when it comes to this rivalry as well as these football teams and other CSAA sports. It's going to be a great night indeed for football. And gentlemen, we'll obviously talk a little bit about these teams, the seasons, right, going up to this point. Big Rapids, right, Jack, we've kind of followed along, you know as well as anybody with these guys. They're 4-0, 2 really big wins the last 2 weeks in conference play. This is really, it feels like the true test for this football team here. They've played some good teams. Paw week 1 was a really good test for them, but this really feels like the biggest test of them all right now.
Yeah, 100%. And outside of Coopersville, this is the test. This is where you come out, you show up on your rival, you get the big win, but it's a matter of fact of if they can do it. This is going to be a huge game for them.
It's going to be a huge game indeed. And Mark, we've obviously followed Big Rapids to this point so far. I mean, 4-0. This is a team that has a lot of athleticism around the field, no matter position, no matter depth. They have a lot of these key players that can make a lot of plays. This will be very interesting to see on the counter side what Reed City plans to do to stop some of those guys, especially out of the backfield and out of the receiver core.
Well, it's always a game, right, between the coaches. Some things you want to plan for and maybe surprise the other team, but in some ways there's really no surprises between these 2 teams, what we do offensively. We're 5 games into the season. When we did the preseason rundown, we were pointing to week 5. Both crews were pointing to week 5. And so, it's just going to be the Coyotes run against the PRO, the pass run option for Big Rapids tonight.
It's going to be really interesting to see how these coaches, right, Coach Seltzer, Coach Schenkel, have competed many years against each other. And it's going to be a chess match at the end of the day. It's going to be really fun to see. And we'll flip on the side for Reed City here for us, Mark, and Jack will go to you. Reed City 3-1. Lone loss in week 1 to Kingsley, 24-6. Since then, since that moment, we saw the very first practice after that first game. This is a different ball club. This is a different, tenacious, passionate football team here. And that's going to be very interesting to see how they are geared up for this game tonight because you know the momentum has been rolling in, especially only playing 1 half of football against Crane last week.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we obviously have been able to get rolling offensively, but I think the biggest turn for me is the defense. The way that we've held the last 3 games. They're scoreless in the last 3 games against us, starting with Belding 3 weeks ago now, which seems like an eternity, right? But the defense has, to me, been the biggest turnaround for the season, and we'll just have to see if the quickness of the Coyote defense tonight can match up against the size of Big Rapids' offensive line.
It's going to be very interesting, and Jack, you've obviously followed both these teams as our board op, but he's getting his big day tonight. He's going to be on Big Country, folks. It's going to be great. We'll obviously preview that information later, but Reed City as well. I mean, it feels like the momentum, and you can especially test this in the booth because there's been times where we've had to go to you. They've been scoring at will in 5-6 minutes of span where they can put multiple, even 3-4 scores up in 5 minutes. So momentum has been a big thing for this team. It's going to be interesting to see how Big Rapids tries to counter that, maybe slow the tempo of the game down.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely going to be interesting, but even going back to last week, 63 points was the most points in school history. This is a historic team that's coming in, and they want to score points. They are definitely most willing. They're going to go out. They're going to enforce their will on a team. The size, Mark said it, the size versus the athleticism, what's going to win today. And if the Cardinals can come in, stop the run, that's what's going to win them this ball game.
It's going to be very interesting indeed. And let's take a look now at the head-to-head. You can follow along as well with all of our graphics if you're with us in person on Big Rapids Daily News on YouTube as well. You can find those if you're watching online with us, which I see a lot of viewers in. Hey, welcome in if you're just joining us. Overall head-to-head breakdown right now in this matchup, right? One thing you won't see on your screen, this is 75th edition of this game. 44 wins for Big Rapids, 29 for Reed City. There have been 4 ties, ironically, and I don't know how those games finished between both those clubs without having a winner at the end of the day. But you look at the overall records, right? Big Rapids on the right of your screen, 4-0, 2-0 in conference play. A very glaring 44.3 offensive points per game. That is a big exclamation point. They've only allowed 5.3 defensively, 49 playoff points. Right now, entering Max Preps has them 59th in the state. On the flip side, Reed City 3-1 overall, 2-0 in conference play, 27.6 points per game, 6 points allowed defensively, 36.7 playoff points to this point, 89th in the state. But to this point now, especially with look at Big Rapids, it's been an offensive flurry, and I think especially, Jack, it's been a big year, obviously, for Jack Bowman. It's been a big year so far for Cole Heist, who's been able to really do a great job of orchestrating that offense. But I think it really goes to show that offensive front, Braylon Counselor and co., those guys have been bullies, and they have really not gotten the credit they deserve so far with this 4-0 start.
Yeah, 100%. And even on the motion plays to Wyatt Skira, this front end, they're moving bodies. That is what has won them ball games. Jack Bowman's been able to get through. He's got over 300 yards this season, which ranks, I believe, 3rd in the conference. But this has been an elite group on the trenches, on the offense. They're moving bodies. They're picking their gaps, pulling guards. It's been an amazing thing to watch.
For sure. And Mark, on our side, I think the most impressive thing that we've seen from this group, especially, has been the defense, right? You look at Tyler Woodside, Ethan Phillips moving back to the linebacker spot. The defensive line has played very, very well. We saw that last week against Grant. But I think the big thing that especially has been imperative was the defensive backs have played very good assignment football. They're not overflying to the ball like we saw a couple times last year, but really outside of that front's been great. But the next level, the second and third levels, have been even better for this team.
Yeah, I still think moving Tyler Woodside off the line as a down lineman on defense and putting him to linebacker has not just helped solidify the defense, and we've seen really good linebacker play for the Coyotes this year, but it's also helped him on the offensive end as well because he's not a down lineman for the whole football game now. Being able to stand up as a backer gives him a break. You're not first contact on every play like he was last year. And yeah, you're right too, though. The backs, the safeties and the corners have played really well for the Coyotes this year too. Will be tested tonight.
They will be tested tonight indeed, as we'll take a look now at some other scores from this last week and recap. You can see those on your screen here right now. But I think the biggest thing for this football team is going to be for Reed City, you're right. Last week against Grant, 35-0. They only played one half football. That left a lot of emotional scars, not just from the starters, but from those second-year guys or second-level, second, third-string guys. They weren't able to play. And those first-string guys took it personal, so they're going to be ready to go. Big Rapids as well, they expected a test against Tri-County. Unfortunately, Coach Butler's team, a lot of mistakes. Unforced errors really cost them that football game. So at the end of the day, for both these teams, huge wins. Past that, move to the next week for Reed City. I think they're ready to go. I think the rivalry is going to take care of that by itself.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think only playing half a football game skewed for the Coyotes. I mean, point totals for the year and rushing average and all those things were affected. But more than that, I think you're right. We kind of took it personal last week we were going to play our whole second team the whole second half. And those guys worked just as hard and earned the right to play in games like that and weren't allowed to. The other thing that I think happened last week, because we didn't just see it happen here on Cardinal Field, but we also saw it happen up north, that Boyne City took a hammer in last week too to Kingsley. So this is the time of year you also begin to find out who's legit and who's the posers.
Yes, indeed. And Jack, I think especially as we look at the Big Rapids side, for the win last week, is it overconfidence going into this week? I mean, talking to the players, it really was, we won, It's done. Let's move on. It feels like these guys really haven't taken that overconfident look. They're ready to go, and they're really going to face a really humble Reed City team, but also with that humbleness on their side too.
Yeah, 100%. This is a team that wants to go 1-0 every week. They don't pay attention. It doesn't matter if they're 4-0. Right now, they're 0-0. They're coming into another ball game. This is Reed City. They want to take care of business. But last week, they handled business well. But this is a team, like I said, 1-0 every single week. That's how Seltzer wants his boys to play.
Absolutely. And we take a look at some of the other games as well. Chip Hills beating Newaygo 26-20. Mark, you've been really high on this Warrior team. We saw they played good football for pretty much approximately 16 to 15 minutes against Reed City, and then obviously the wheels fall off the hay wagon that we're sitting on right now probably. But at the end of the day, they have very much made improvement. Newaygo, they lost a lot of leadership from last year's group, and now we're starting to see that with now 0-4 to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, Chip Hills was the team at the beginning of the year that I thought might come into the season with the biggest improvement. I think they're 2-2 now going into the game tonight against Newaygo, who is surprisingly 0-4. I mean, we knew that there would be a downturn a little bit for them, but that's pretty extreme. Man, Chip Hills, they're just having a great season, and they have things to build on here. They're pretty young too, so they want to keep this ball rolling and maybe come up with a big win against Newaygo, get on the top side of the win-loss column, and just keep their season rolling as well.
Absolutely, and Jack, I think for Molly Stanwood now, that's a team that got their first win. They've shown sparks throughout the year. Coach Chapman's crew, they got a little bit rolling. Obviously, that 28-7 win last week over Lakeview. Lakeview still going through that first coaching change, right? But Morley Stanwood has really shown a lot of improvement. They played well against Chip Hills. They played low last week. So maybe this is a group that's on the up and up here over the next couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. And in my opinion, I mean, this was a game, week one, they should have beat Harbor Springs, a historic win for Harbor Springs. But this Morley Stanwood team, they have weapons they can use them. Griffin Babbitt. This is a team that can come out, win some games, and they showed exactly. They beat Lakeview by 3 scores. Just build on it one step at a time.
For sure. And Coach Kripe's crew has been firing on all cylinders, especially there at Central Montcalm. A 58-0 win against White Cloud. Obviously, White Cloud is down this year. Coach Trice has all of his work cut out for him, losing that big senior class. And then Kent City, Mark, we've been talking about a little bit against the Hart Pirates. Potentially, we were looking right at Models. That's a playoff team coming up here in the Hart Pirates, potentially. But Coach Gropp's crew, on all cylinders, offense, defense, they're firing off the ball, and they're winning these low-scoring games. You have time to improve that offense, but if you got that defense, you're going to be in good luck for this postseason.
Yeah, and I don't think tonight's going to be a low-scoring game for Kent City. I think they're going to run all over Lakeview. You look at the common contest that they had. They both played Morley. Kent City won 40-0. Lakeview lost 28-7. So I think Kent City's going to work on some things tonight and just trying to keep the improvement with their season going.
Yeah, it's going to be
game to watch in our conference tonight. It's at Central Montcalm, Elk, and Pigeons Bay. 2 4-0 teams playing tonight.
It's going to be really fun to see, and we'll get to those games here in just a minute. But with that, we will step aside. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the rundown after this.
For 3 generations, Denny's Muffler has been proudly serving the Big Rapids area. From mufflers to brakes and shocks, they can do it all. Their experienced team delivers quality service with a smile, ensuring you get back on the road safely and quickly. Call them today or visit them in Big Rapids. Denny's Muffler, service you can depend on.
For service that's great, go to Denny's Muffler and Brakes.
Eagle Village is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Osceola County. Join our mission that has helped thousands of children and families heal and find success in their communities. Start a career where every day is different. You can experience the outdoors and have an opportunity for professional growth. We are looking for individuals to embrace the legacy of showing children their strengths, talents, and solutions when facing life's challenges. Apply now at eaglevillage.org/careers. Eagle Village, where potential soars.
Target your potential customers with Dazos Digital's geo-targeting ad capabilities. Target where you know they go. Target your competitors. Target specific zip codes. Do you offer cheaper rates in specific areas? Drop a radius pin and deliver ads to households in that area. Do you know your competition is taking potential customers? Target them and give customers a reason to try you instead. Dazos Digital can design, plan, and execute your digital strategy. Visit DazosDigital.com for more.
Beat BR t-shirts for $15. Beat RC t-shirts for $15. Chip versus everyone t-shirts for $15.
Hooray!
Everett, Beale City, Grant, Newego, Central Montcalm. The t-shirt Rivalry is at rivalsmi.com. Shop rivalsmi.com and use promo code RIVALS25 for 15% off. Rivals25 for 15% off. Shop online at rivalsmi.com. Rivals MI, where your team reigns supreme.
Rewind 99.1 is now the new Rewind 98.9, and you can win $98.9 in cash just for listening. Listen to Rewind 98.9 all next week, and you can be a daily winner of $98.9. But wait, there's more. One lucky listener will win $989.
Holy shit.
Listen to the new Rewind 98.9 next week, and you can win cash. The new Rewind 98.9, West Michigan's classic rock for the ages.
It's time for me to win.
Welcome in here to our live rundown coverage. Hey, there's Big Red for us. He's helping us out here this evening. We got a whole crew coming in. There's people making their way in. Brandon Worth here, Mark Holcomb here to the left side of your screen, Jack to my right. It's going to be a great night. We're here right at Big Rapids High School for the Battle of 131, but we're talking about all the CSA as well. We'll get to our game picks later on. I know you guys are waiting for those. Don't hold your horses just yet. But we're going to talk especially about the ultra ranks, right? This is something that we've kind of looked at and we've looked at, especially as a staff as far as the rundown goes, compiling 8 to 9 different rankings that we've seen. We've averaged them out, so we kind of have a good idea of where these teams rank, and we start with Big Rapids, number 8 in Division 4. We don't necessarily have a graphic for that on your screen, but we'll show the playoff picture in just a moment. But I think for Big Rapids, now it's the first time, I believe, in the ultra rank, they have found themselves in the top 10. I think now Michigan is starting to see how good of a football team that especially Big Rapids is here, Jack.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm just looking at some of these. We got the D zone ranking them at 15. They were 13th to start the season. I don't know what Big Rapids has done to lose a couple spots, but this Cardinal team, they earn it. They've earned their way into the top 10 play the way they have.
Absolutely. And you look especially at where Tri-County is. They were ranked last week. Now falling back into the honorable mention category. They're going to bounce back, I think, this week, and we'll talk about that game a little later. But I think the big problem is you look especially where this team is for Tri-County. They just really need a reset. That's really all it is. Coach Butler's crew just needs a reset here this week.
Well, I think anytime you lose as big and as handily as they did last week, we listened to the game coming back, had the opportunity to do that because our game was done at the half, and it just seemed like Big Rapids just had their way and did anything they wanted to last week, and that was the team. They both came in 3-0, right? And expected a better game than that. I think we were surprised when we started seeing the score coming across. It was 7-6 early, and then it was all Big Rapids from there on out. So you're right. A decent team. They have a really good quarterback. They have a really good wideout, and maybe tonight they can get their feet back under them and start playing Tri-County football.
Absolutely, and we just are aware that we did have a little stream disconnection, but we are back, so thanks for holding with us. We look at Division 6, Reed City, and newly added this week, Kent City, now number 10. Those Eagles flying under the radar, a little bit literally and figuratively, but Reed City, they were up a little bit higher. Overall, I think just the strength of schedule last 2 weeks has brought them down a little bit when you look at some of those other teams that have really pounced in front of them. Now, a lot of Reed City fans are a little salty. Belding has been ranked higher in some rankings, even though 24 thumping at their place not too many weeks ago. However, that's all up to your opinion. But I think the big thing is teams still respect where Reed City is, and now people know Kent City's going to be legit this year too.
I mean, it's the same argument that they make for the college poll, right? Like, why do you have a college poll the first 2 weeks in the season? You don't really know who's the legit, who's real, who's the imposters. So I think the same thing said here. Polls aside, just like you said, Jack, I mean, Big Rapids dropping in a poll. Let's just play football on Friday nights and let the games determine where we end up at the when the regular season's done, how the matchups are set. Those will all be taken care of with points. But sometimes you can get caught up in that stuff, and it's fun to talk about because we're obviously doing it, but I think let's just play football, and we're going to do that tonight.
Absolutely. Jack, your thoughts, D6 Ultra rankings?
I mean, I think Kent City coming in, that's a team, you said it, flying under the radar. That's a team that I think you're watching out for the rest of the season. This is a team that's got a favorable schedule going forward. Where do they end up? Are they a 2 seed? Are they a 1 seed? They've got the playoff points and maybe potentially be that 1 seed and host some playoff games. This is a weaponized wing T offense. We've got a wing T tonight. This is another great wing T the Eagles have. But I mean, Reed City, Kent City, those are 2 teams, 9, 10, Kingsley at 5. These are some teams that are going to play each other. They're going to have some common opponents. This should be an exciting end coming up.
It should be very exciting indeed. We'll get to the playoff picture. Shout out to our tailgate crew that's with us here tonight. They are having a great time, as are we. As we take a look at the playoff predictions, you will see them on your screen if you're following us on the live stream. Big Rapids, if the playoffs started today, it's deja vu. 2 years in a row, they're playing the other Birds over on Lake Michigan and Ludington. That would be a fun rematch indeed. And they would obviously play Escanaba and Freeland. Escanaba is the 1 seed right now. I think a lot of the Lower Peninsula teams are saying, we got to start winning some games if we want to host. But for Big Rapids and Ludington, if those 2 teams play in a first-round game, look out.
Yeah, I mean, Ludington's having a great year, right? They've struggled the last couple years, and I think the coach's son is the quarterback, which seems to always bode well for teams. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. That would be a big 2 really powers. They see each other all the time in volleyball and basketball, and to see them play in football coming from different conferences would be a lot of fun.
It would be a lot of fun indeed. If the playoffs were to start today for Reed City, deja vu again. We're playing the Mariners of Manistee. Again, for the second year in a row, winner would play Kingsley and the Mustangs, the Mighty Mustangs of Sanford Meridian. And I think for Reed City, they're okay with that, but I think a lot of football fans, Jack, I think you would agree with this, they might want another matchup. They might want to play a different team as well.
Yeah, 100%. That even goes back to the Big Rapids Ludington thing. These are teams, they're familiar with each other, and that's what the playoffs get. You get some teams around your area that you've played before, and if Reed City were to beat Manistee, Kingsley were to win, that's a rematch right there, and I think that's what the Coyotes want, to be honest. I don't know from your side of things, but if you want to get your get back and get that win over Kingsley, this is the time to do it. I mean, you're going to have a playoff match. It really couldn't get much of a perfect picture.
It's going to be fun to see how that one ends up. If the playoffs started today for Tri-County, they will be playing Muskegon Oak Ridge, the Eagles, and the winner would play Comstock Park against the number 1 seed and host, the Whitehall Vikings, who started the year out of the playoffs first 3 games. They have got it together. Whitehall is the real deal again.
Yeah, Big Rapids is pretty familiar with that school, aren't you, Jack? And 2 teams or 4 teams in that district that are familiar with each other. I don't know a lot about those 4 teams, but historically they've had pretty good years.
Exactly, and I think for Kent City, they'll play Central Montcalm if the playoffs started today. Be very interesting to see. What do you think out of that matchup, Jack? These teams will play the second time. You'd have to anticipate the whole playbook's going to be wide open.
Yeah, 100%, and it always will be. I mean, these are 2 teams playing each other. You know what the other teams run before, and now how do you adjust to that for the second time coming in?
It'll be very interesting indeed. With that, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back after this with the live rundown, the Rivalry edition, right here on Big Rapids Daily News.
For 3 generations, Denny's Muffler has been proudly serving the Big Rapids area. From mufflers to brakes and shocks, they can do it all. Their experienced team delivers quality service with a smile, ensuring you get back on the road safely and quickly. Call them today or visit them in Big Rapids. Denny's Muffler, service you can depend on.
For service that's great, go to Denny's Muffler and Brakes.
Eagle Village is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Osceola County. Join our mission that has helped thousands of children and families heal and find success in their communities. Start a career where every day is different. You can experience the outdoors and have an opportunity for professional growth. We are looking for individuals to embrace the legacy of showing children their strengths, talents, and solutions when facing life's challenges. Apply now at eaglevillage.org/careers. Eagle Village, where potential soars.
Target your potential customers with Dazos Digital's geo-targeting ad capabilities. Target where you know they go. Target your competitors. Target specific zip codes. Do you offer cheaper rates in specific areas? Drop a radius pin and deliver ads to households in that area. Do you know your competition is taking potential customers? Target them and give customers a reason to try you instead. Dazos Digital can design, plan, and execute your digital strategy. Visit DazosDigital.com for more.
Beat BR t-shirts for $15. Beat RC t-shirts for $15. Chip versus Everyone t-shirts for $15.
Hooray!
Everett, Beale City, Grant, Newego, Central Montcalm. The t-shirt rivalry is at rivalsmi.com. Shop rivalsmi.com and use promo code RIVALS25 for 15% off. Rivals25 for 15% off. Shop online at rivalsmi.com. Rivals MI, where your team reigns supreme.
Rewind 99.1 is now the new Rewind 98.9, and you can win 98.9 bucks in cash just for listening. Listen to Rewind 98.9 all next week, and you can be a daily winner of 98.9 bucks. But wait, there's more. One lucky listener will win 989 bucks.
Holy shit.
Listen to the new Rewind 98.9 next week, and you can win cash. The new Rewind 98.9, West Michigan's classic rock for the ages.
It's time for me to win.
It's a rundown coming at you live, breaking it down play by play.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Slight technical difficulties. We are back. Brandon Worth, that's Mark Holcomb, Jack Heckman with you here. We are calling the game tonight, but we're getting you pregame coverage here. We're seeing all the Coyote and Cardinal fans making their way up to Cardinal Stadium. We wish you the best of luck trying to find seats. Went up there earlier. They were already being saved, and that was a couple hours before kickoff. That just shows how much this game, Mark, means to both towns. It is literally 15 miles of pure grudge match along the river. It's going to be a fun night tonight.
I just can't wait to see what happens out there on that turf. And beautiful night. It's about 78, 80 degrees. You'll give the game time weather report, but couldn't ask for better weather, couldn't ask for better conditions. And this is two towns coming into the same location, getting ready for a battle.
It's going to be fun indeed. And for both of these sides, Jack, we're obviously looking at some key stat leaders, especially a lot of these guys offensively have been playing really well this year. Highlight a couple.
Yeah, most definitely. Cole Heist coming in 7 touchdowns, almost 600 passing yards with a 66 completion percentage. He's been a weapon for this Cardinal team. They're able to run that RPO very well. And as a matter of fact, if he can get going tonight, this Cardinal team may be dangerous to play with on that outside. But even you got running up the middle, Jack Bowman coming in at 5th place, over 300 yards on 42 attempts, 4 touchdowns. He had 12 touchdowns his sophomore year. This is a guy who's going to score the ball. He's going to score it efficiently. He had 9 last year. This is a guy, watch out for him to get to the end zone tonight.
It's going to be really fun indeed. And especially as we look at some others around the league, I know especially you look at Kent City, they've had some backs that have really played well this year. And especially for Central Montcalm, Jamison Johns, Zane Cooper, those guys have connected, it seems like, all year long. And that is going to be a fun football game to look on later this year.
Yeah, most definitely. Central Montcalm coming in with weapons. But if we just look at the receiving leaders, there's 3 teams on here. Those are the only teams that really pass the ball in the conference. Everybody else is either running a wing T or just a pure, run. They're just running the ball. There's not a whole lot of teams that pass the ball, and that's why we only see a couple guys at the top of the leaderboard. But these are some weapons here. Wide receiver Jaden Button, we saw last week at this field. He had 60 yards on 3 catches without Vaughn Veltman in that second half. He's at the top of your passers. That is a guy who's been definitely a weapon. He only had 60 or 80 passing yards last week. These were 2 guys that didn't even play that much last week, but he's still at the top. That's how much of a lead he had last week.
He was a huge asset for this team so far and has been and will continue to will be this week. And we'll get to our game picks here in just a moment. If you're with us on the live stream, stay with us. I know that we're trying to get through here with the Wi-Fi signal. I think it's these cars driving. There's too many of them. They're blocking our signal or something. I'm not a tech expert, but it's something along those measures. But we'll take a look here.
I'm going to leave that up to you, all right?
We're going to figure that out, right? It's going to be at the end of the day. It's going to be a fun night. We appreciate all the tailgaters here that are with us in the crowd. We appreciate all of you, and we got some goodies for you here later on in the night. But I think especially as we look at these teams, and we'll get to the pick 'em here in just a moment, there's a lot of good games this week. Like, this is the big one, obviously. There's other crosstown rivalries that we'll touch on here later on, but there's just a lot of good football games that will be here next week. That's going to be really fun to see this week and next week, as we'll talk about those next week on the show, which you can subscribe, Big Rapids Daily News, for more. But I think especially, let's get right to it. Mark, this one's very important for us as Reed City folks. 2 teams in our division that are in an absolute heater over and up north. This was the 9 and 10 game of the week. This is St. Francis at Kingsley. Boy, it's going to be a great football game. The Gladiators lead the series, 12 out of 18 wins, but Kingsley has the win last at Waller Roads Field. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We're going to go pick 'em style college game day. Give us your winner and your score. Mark, you start us up here. Who you got between the Gladiators and the Stags?
Well, it's at Kingsley, which is advantage for the Stags. And also, I lean a little toward the Stags for the Fries.
I knew you would.
I'm going to say the Fries tip me over, and I'm going to say the Kingsley Stags also get us some more points by knocking off Traverse City St. Francis tonight up in Kingsley.
I like it, and I'm going with the Stags as well. I think the Stags offensive line is so heavily underrated. I think this is a good football team. I got the Stags 24-20 tonight over the Gladiators. I think they win a defensive slugfest. Jack, what you got?
Number one team in D6, Traverse City St. Francis. I'm on my own bow here. St. Francis gets the win 41-32. This has been a high-scoring last couple matchups, and that's why the Gladiators get it done tonight.
Wow, I like it indeed. Let's take a look now at Everett against Pine River. This one is just up the road from us. This is also a heated rivalry between these two schools. You got the Bucks that will be hosting the Wildcats. Both teams 500 on the year, 2-2 apiece. I think this one could really come down to who could get to 31st. Might win this football game. Mark, you got us the honors here on this one. Wildcats or Bucks?
Well, I have the Wildcats winning. I looked at their one common opponent. It was Lake City. Everett won 49-14, and Pine River won 41-22. So they were most able to put points on the board. But I think that because Everett can put the ball in the air and they have a quarterback that can throw downfield, I'm going to give Everett the advantage, and you're going to make me do a score, right?
Yes.
So I'll say 42-30.
You like the offense here. I like more the defensive side of it here. I'm also going to go with the Wildcats. I think they get it done on the road. I was impressed with what they did last week offensively. I think they ride that out. I got them 28-16 tonight over the Bucks. Jack, are you with us on this one?
I'm going to go with Everett. Come on. Mark talked me into it. Aiden Anderson, I think he's going to be a weapon tonight. All right. 36-34, another offensive slugfest.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that one. That's a good one indeed. Let's take a look now. Ludington, Montague. This is a good game. Obviously, Montague's 1-3, but they've played 2 one-score games on the opposite end, on the loss column. Ludington looks really good. This is at Montague, however. Interesting idea. Mark, I'm going to give you grace on this one. Jack is going to have the honors on this one first.
I like Kim Gunslick, quarterback for Ludington. They're a 4-0 team. They've been scoring a lot of points. I got them winning big, 42-12 over Montague.
I like it. I think I'm going to pull in honor of Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. The upset tonight, Montague over Ludington. They knock them off in a one-score thriller, 24-18. I think Montague's defense gets it done tonight. Coach Coops has done a great job with that group so far. I think they pull off the upset tonight.
Well, I think it's a trap game for Ludington. It's at Montague. They're 4-0. They're looking ahead this season. A Montague team that struggled a little bit, but I don't think Montague will have enough. So I think Ludington will win 28-20.
Okay, there you go. We look now. Whitehall will be taking on a really interesting opponent for us. That would be Manistee at the home of the Mariners, up 46. I'll tell you what, Whitehall, they've won the last 6 Week 5 games. They love Week 5. They figure it out. Manistee has won their home game of the year. Is the home crowd, Jack, enough for Manistee to pull out the upset tonight against the Vikings?
I don't think it is. Very familiar with this Whitehall team, and it feels like Big Rapids plays them almost every single sport. I mean, basketball, football, baseball, played them in the districts, had them in that district for a while. But I think I got Whitehall 42-27 tonight.
I like it. I'm also going to stay with Whitehall tonight. I think the athleticism for the Vikings wins out over the Mariners crew. As long as the Vikings can stop that little flexbone, wishbone offense that they like to run, especially with a good quarterback, I still think that this is a game that could easily fall in Whitehall's favor. I got them in a big one here, 35-14. They stop the Mariners.
Yeah, it's going to clean sweep tonight for Whitehall. I think Manistee is going to find the rest of their season. They're going to be scrambling just to make the playoffs. And I see Whitehall winning pretty easily tonight, too, 35-14.
Wow, okay. As we now take a look here at some conference games, and Mark, you mentioned this one. I think this is especially one that'll be interesting. You look at Elkton, Pigeon Bay, Port Laker. Yes, that is a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. But what do you need to know? They're a real good football team. One of the ranked ones in D7. Do the Hornets have enough to take down this ranked Laker team?
No, they don't. I think Central Montcalm's going to go down tonight to Elkton Pigeon Bay, whatever the rest of their name is. I can't come. They're both 4-0 coming into this game, but I just think I don't think Central Montcalm has enough. I think Elkton Pigeon Bay will knock them off 21-13.
Wow, okay. I think this is Coach Kripe's time. If it's now or never, and it's at home, give me the Hornets 30-24 over the Lakers at home tonight against Pigeon Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to agree with you. Zane Cooper, Jamison Johns, that is going to be a lethal tandem tonight, and that's why they're going to be able to get it done 23-7.
Wow, 23-7 defense for Coach Kripe's crew. That's going to be very interesting. If those that aren't following along with us on the live stream, we are working on it at the moment. Lakeview at Kent City. Guys, it's pretty one-sided. We're not going to lie in this one, but what do you think? Wildcats, they going to hold tight, or is this one just going to be off to the races there for the Eagles?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout like we've seen several times in this conference. Might be as bad as it was last week between Big Rapids and Tri-County, so I'm going to say 49-7. Kent City's going to roll over Lakeview tonight.
Okay, I got Kent City 40-0. They seem to like that score, so I think they'll find it.
You said 40-0. How about they win by 50 tonight? I'm not even going to give the Wildcats a score because I trust the Eagles that much that they go out and win by 50 tonight.
I like it indeed. It's going to be interesting. We'll see if the Wildcats have anything to spoil the party. We take a look now. White Cloud at Morley Stanwood. This is a chance for White Cloud. Is it now or never? I don't know. We'll find out. Mark, is it never?
No, I don't have any confidence in White Cloud at all. I just don't think they can win a game this year, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I think it's going to get pretty ugly tonight.
Okay, I think we're going to see the Indians score tonight. I think we're going to see the Mohawks on top. However, I got them 32-8. Stanwood is victorious tonight, and they're 2-3 on the year.
I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to say White Cloud scores first. They're going to score the first touchdown of the game. It's going to be 6-0, and they're never going to score again. I got the Mohawks winning 38-6.
Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for them. Tri-County at Newaygo tonight. Is this the first one for Newaygo, Mark?
I've got Newaygo losing. I think this is a bounce-back game for Tri-County. They're at home. Newaygo is just struggling, and they seem to be spiraling a little bit now as 0-4, so I think Tri-County will win 28-7. Fans are coming in, aren't they?
I think I recognize that guy. We'll leave him off the show. You might see him as he walks up there. I got Tri-County as well tonight. I think they bounce back against Newaygo. Defense, however, has some problems. I think Newaygo gets on the board like they did Central Montcalm. 48-20 tonight in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Chase Keller is going to be running wild tonight as they win 42-20 over Newaygo.
I like it indeed. Now we take a look at the final conference game before the big one, before we head on our way here this evening. This one's interesting. I think this is a very interesting pick. Chip Hills against Grant. If Grant is healthy, that's, I think, the big question mark. I think Chip Hills still gets the job done. I got 28-6 Warriors over the Tigers tonight.
I like the youth at Chip Hills. They don't have the size to match up with the Big Rapids and the Reed Cities, but they have some athletes. They're pretty quick in the backfield. They have a decent quarterback. So I think Chip Hills is good. And Grant, who knows who they're going to be able to put on the field tonight. We know when we came in, they had 5 guys that weren't dressed on the sideline and had to stop at halftime for the safety of their players. So I'm going to say that Chip Hills will win tonight 40-6.
All right, Jack, what you got?
I think it's going to be Chip Hills tonight. Hunter Montague, he only has 1 passing touchdown, but he's got 5 on the ground. He has a lot more rushing yards than he has passing yards, almost 200 more, and that's exactly why the Warriors get it done tonight.
All righty, indeed. And last but certainly not least, folks, hang with us. It's getting big time up in the building. These two, the battle for 131 is going down. Before we get to the final scores and picks, players to watch tonight here, Mark, who are you looking at and why?
I'm going to sound like Schenkel. It's going to be whoever wins the battle of the trenches. It can Reed City's offensive line hold their blocks against the Big Rapids defensive line. I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost because Reed City has to get their running backs through the first level into the secondary. Big Rapids is also quick in their D-backs, too, so we might not see 72-yard scampers, but we need to get to second level with our running backs. And we defensively, we have to come up with some type of scheme to slow down this pass run option that Big Rapids is really starting to perfect. And we saw it last night in the JV game as well. They run it well at all levels. And so that's, I think, the keys for me. Stopping the pass run option. I think if we can get to Heist a couple times tonight, maybe make him not want to carry the ball on the option, I think it can change a little bit for us defensively. But if Heist gets to the outside, Jack, like we've seen him do a couple times, and get some runs downfield, that opens everything else up for their offense. And so we have to contain Heist and Bowman in the backfield. And then, just control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think we're going to see how Jack Bowman does against his Reed City backers. Does he run at him and run through him, or does he try to run around him? I think it's going to be a big key. Obviously, Jack Bowman is a bowling ball. He's going to find his way tonight. How much? That's going to be the big question mark. How much can you contain him? I think that's going to be one key to watch. I'm also going to be very interested to see their pass selection as well. Do they elect to go with a ground-heavy game like they had this year against that Reed City front, or do they like to pass more? I think that'll be interesting. On the Reed City side, how do the corners for Big Rapids tackle? Does Reed City try to set up a lot of those sweeps, a lot of those off tackles? How does the Cardinals secondary do against those big runs? That's going to be a big question mark in my book tonight. And I think for both teams, how open is the playbook? It's week 5. This means everything, but does it mean just a little bit less than everything, enough where you might keep some in the pocket and wait till later in the year? We'll have to just wait and see on that one.
Yeah, most definitely. You almost treated Ohio State, Michigan. That's the game. That's the only game that matters during the season if you don't make the playoffs. Ohio State, does the national championship really count? They didn't beat Michigan. It doesn't count.
Oh, boy.
But this is where we're going here now. Sorry, folks.
Big Rapids. You got to watch Braylon Counselor, Max Bowman, and Jack Bowman. Those are 3 guys who are going to make or break this game for the Coyotes and the Cardinals. If Max Bowman gets going, he's able to get off the edge, get in and stuff the run. That's going to be huge for this Cardinal team. Yep. If Braylon Counselor, moving the guards, moving the guys, if he's able to get around and get active in the trenches, it's going to be huge. And if those blocks that go back to Braylon Counselor, Jack Bowman could have a huge night.
All right, you got our opinions here, but people want to know the numbers. It's that time. Score picks, our final portion here on the show before we head up to the field to broadcast our games. Unfortunately, Mark, you're going to have to start first here.
Oh.
This is going to be an interesting one, and obviously it seems like Jack might be outhanded, right?
Well, we'll see. It doesn't really matter what we say or what we think. It's going to be won on the football field. I think tonight the speed of Reed City wins out. I just really do. I think we figured some things out since the first game. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I think there's going to be some big hits tonight. The team, we haven't fumbled the ball once yet this year. We've only had one turnover, the interception last week at Grant. So we've got to take care of the football. We can't turn the football over. That's one key. And I just think it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a fourth quarter ball game, and I think the Coyotes figure out a way to win 28-26.
28-26. I like it. Jack, over to you.
I mean, look at this place. Cardinal Stadium, home of the Cardinals. I'm not Pat McAfee. I can't jump in a swimming pool this week. But the Cardinals, the trenches come to play tonight, and that's exactly how they win this game in a 3-score ball game. They win 30-8.
Oh, goodness, Jack. Who let you on the wagon?
Yeah.
This is going to be fun indeed. I have been asked this question all week. What's the score? What's the score? What's the score? I'm back and forth. I know these teams are really good. I know the fans know both these teams are real good. It really pains me to go through this process and go through these scoring. I'm looking at numbers and matchups. Come on now, Brandon. Oh, I know. So I think it ends in a tie. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it ends in the fourth.
Kind of in the series history. That's like kissing your sister. Come on.
I think we see tonight, a fourth quarter comeback win for Reed City. I think they win this 22-21 over the field goal, maybe a field goal to win it. We'll just have to wait and see, or a 2-point conversion for the win. 22-21. Those are our picks. You can catch us live on the call. Myself, Mark Holcomb, on Y102, 102.3 FM, as well as WYBR.com. You got Jack, as well as a good friend of yours, joining on the broadcast. You guys are going to be very excited tonight. You can catch that 100.9 as well as WWBR.com. It's going to be a really fun football game, guys. Last thoughts.
I just can't wait to get out there and get in the booth and call this football game. Like I said, we talked about this week in the preseason, And everything points to this and sets you up for what happens after this game. Just like you said, this is Michigan-Ohio State for North Central Michigan football, at least in our conference. And so it's going to be fun either way, and look forward to calling it tonight with you, Brandon.
Absolutely. Jack, what are your last thoughts?
This is a game, I've said it all day. Trenches are going to win and break this game. But does the pass game get going for the Cardinals? That's going to be a huge question. How much is Heist involved? How much is he not? Does he carry the ball? I think the Cardinals, if they get this run game going, it's going to be a good game for the Cardinals.
I think it's going to be fun indeed. That's going to conclude our coverage here on The Rundown. We're going to head to the field. We're going to call the game. Thanks for all that are tuning in. You can also listen to this live as well as rewatch it on Big Rapids Daily News. We'll have the full recording for you in case the stream cut out on your favorite team's part. We got it covered for you. You can rewatch online at BigRapidsDailyNews.com. Gentlemen, let's adjourn and let's go call a football game.
Let's go.
Be sure to subscribe. This has been The Rundown, live rivalry edition here at Big Rapids High School on Big Rapids Daily News.